Greetings, Earthlings! Today I'm back with a review of another brand new Amazon Basics Vocal Dynamic Microphone. That's a mouthful.
That's what your sister said when I was at her house last night.
Dude, seriously? That's disgusting. You can't say that. I'm gonna get demonetized.
I will say what I want. Call me Daddy.
So today I am reviewing this guy, the brand new Amazon Basics Vocal Dynamic Microphone, not to be confused with the Amazon Basics Vocal Dynamic Microphone. If you are interested in this microphone, it will cost you around $20. Like always, I'll throw some links down below. And for this review, I have the microphone connected directly to the 18i20 with the gain set just at around 4 o'clock. I will not do any kind of post-processing, but I may boost the audio in post, so go ahead and check the doobly-doo to see what I diddly did. Thanks, Wheezy Waiter, for that phrase. I appreciate you. Now let's talk about what comes in the box. Of course, you are going to get the microphone. You get a microphone clip, which does have a 5/8" threading, but it does not come with a 5/8 to 3/8" adapter. You get an unbalanced XLR to 1/4" cable, and you get some documentation. Then, as far as the build quality, it feels fine, but it's nothing that you're going to be excited about. It has an all-metal body as well as a metal grill, but the grill feels like it's kind of weak. It also weighs in at just about 260 grams. On the side, you will find an on-off switch. Inside of the grill, there is a little bit of foam to try to reduce a little bit of the plosives, and here is what the microphone capsule looks like without the ball on the top of it. Next up, as far as the specs, this microphone is a dynamic microphone. It has a cardioid polar pattern, a frequency response of 100 Hz to 17 kHz, a sensitivity of around -53 decibels, and an impedance of 600 ohms. Now I am spinning around the microphone to 90 degrees to show you the off-axis rejection and coloration. Continue around the microphone to 180 degrees. Should be very dead right here. Continue around to the second 90-degree angle, and then rotate and end at the front. Now let's see how it does at rejecting handling noise. Now I'm going to tap the microphone to see if it has any kind of resonance to it. Now let's test the plosive rejection of this microphone. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. When you do a plosive into this thing, it almost has that same resonant frequency as tapping the microphone. Yeah. Now I am right on top of the microphone to show you the proximity effect on this thing. 3 inches off of the microphone with it pointed at the corner of my mouth. 1 foot away from the microphone. 2 feet away from the microphone. And about 4 feet away from the microphone. Now I am typing on a keyboard with Cherry MX Blues to see how much of my voice versus how much of the keyboard it picks up. Now I am typing on the sad W keys for all those sad emo gamers. Now let's see what kind of noise is generated when we switch on and off the microphone. Now I'm speaking into the microphone in a well-treated room. And now I'm speaking into the microphone in a completely untreated room. Now I want to do a very quick comparison. So right now I am speaking into the $20 Amazon Basics Vocal Dynamic Microphone, which has a cardioid polar pattern, and this is how it sounds. And now I am speaking into the Amazon Basics Vocal Dynamic Microphone, which costs around $70 and has a super cardioid polar pattern, and this is how the audio sounds. And to give you a full-fledged super-duper comparison, now I am speaking into the Behringer XM8500, which is also a $19 or $20 microphone, probably my favorite microphone at that price point, and this is how the microphone sounds. Do either of the Amazon Basic mics beat the Behringer XM8500? Let me know in the comments down below. Still, I don't know where these songs are going when I start them. A minor 4, because that's neat. And it sounds slightly different than everything else that I write because every other song that I write for one of these microphone tests use the same chords. I hate myself so much. I'm sorry. All right, Amazon, you have officially confused me with your microphone lineup, and you've also confused me with the fact that you have a microphone lineup. What is happening? And first up, in terms of pros, with a sensitivity of around negative 53 decibels, it has a pretty healthy output for a dynamic microphone. I also think that this sounds better than the dynamic microphone from Amazon that's over 3 times the price. And lastly, even though it does pick up plosives quite well, there isn't any real rumble to them. Then in terms of cons, to my ears, the microphone seems to roll off a little bit too much in the lower frequencies, which forces you to focus a little bit more on the upper boost, and I find the upper boost to be a little bit grainy and a little bit unpleasant to listen to. It also did a terrible job at handling noise rejection, and the microphone has this crazy resonance when you tap it or when you put a really aggressive plosive into the microphone. Then as far as my overall thoughts on the electric guitar, I was actually pretty surprised. I found it to be rather usable. It wasn't boomy or boxy, and it had a somewhat pleasing tone, if I can even say that. It's something that I wouldn't hate using, I'll put it that way. Then on the acoustic guitar, at a distance of about 8 to 12 inches, it has a very clean and crisp top end, and then it has a nice and tight bottom, because we all like tight bottoms, but actually, again, it's perfectly usable. I wouldn't hate using it. Then on singing, again, it is very tolerable and gives a pretty even sound, although it is still a little bit grainy in the top frequencies. Then we get to spoken word, and without anything to mask the shortcomings of this microphone, like a bed of music or some guitars, the grittiness and graininess becomes much more noticeable and really unpleasant to listen to. However, when you do put this microphone up against the $70 Super Cardioid Amazon Basics microphone, it sounds like a flippin' U87 because the $70 one is so bad. And to wrap up what I recommend this microphone, although I do think that it is pretty usable in certain applications, I am kind of on the fence about it. I think that at the $20 price point, the XM8500 is a little bit more natural, a little bit warmer, and a little bit more pleasing to listen to. But if you're looking for a very crisp and clear sound with essentially a built-in high-pass filter on the microphone, then for $20, even though it does have some shortcomings, I think it's a pretty good option. Alright, that's going to wrap up for today, so if you found this video fun, interesting, or helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a big old thumbs down. If you don't get enough of me here and you want to hear my thoughts on general tech news and YouTube news, go check out my podcast at bandrewsays.com. And if you want to support the channel and become one of these amazing people over here, you can do so by clicking that join button and joining at the $5 tier. That really does help me continue to bring you these videos. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Bye.